Hello there, Dave again. So I want to remind you that everything we study in the Old Testament is the things that the New Testament writers had. That was their Bible. The New Testament Christians, the disciples, when they were walking around with Jesus for 3 years, I would have definitely been asking him a lot of questions about some of these stories, especially in the Kings and the Chronicles, and they would have known their history. They would have been taught from a young age in the synagogue and other places that they would have learned from their parents about the history of Israel, from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, through Moses, Joshua, and all of the days of David and the kings after that, and the Babylonian exile. There's so much history to cover in the Old Testament, and it's such an important thing for us New Testament believers, Christians, to believe and hold on to. Chapter 7 talks about this provision for Samaria, the 4 lepers coming out and be like, we don't want to just sit here and die in the camp. We need to at least go in and see if we can get something. And they plunder the camp. It's kind of fun. There's also a fulfillment of one of Elisha's prophecies, which again is a proof right there that Elisha was a prophet from God when the prophecies come to pass pretty quickly. Some new kings in Syria and Judah in chapter 8. The Shunammite woman's land restored. Elisha is questioned by Ben-Hadad. There's an assassination of the king of Syria. 2 new kings in Judah. That is the reign of Jeroboam and the reign of Ahaziah. Then chapter 9. Jehu takes the throne of Israel. He is anointed, declared king. And he brings God's judgment onto the house of Omri. Then Jehu kills King Joram. Joram's body is dumped in Naboth's vineyard, which of course isn't Naboth's vineyard anymore. It was, stolen by Jezebel and Ahab, but it's still considered Naboth's vineyard to the Lord, so that's interesting. Jezebel is then killed as an exact fulfillment of God's promise that she would be, how she would be killed. Pretty gruesome. That's one of those stories you don't hear about in the Sunday school when you're a child. Chapter 10, the reforms of Jehu. Ahab's descendants executed at Jezreel. Jehu meets 42 members of his strikes against the Baal worship. Wipes out the Baal worship in Israel. Just keeps coming back. After a king or two, you got good kings and you got bad kings, and they set all the stuff back up again that was torn down. Chapter 11, young King Joash. The queen mother reigns over Judah for a little bit. Jehoiada plans to reveal the hidden heir to the throne. Queen mother Athaliah, she doesn't realize that the young king has been hidden away. This is one of those great stories that you don't see this too often, but it would really make a great show or a movie for just one of those kinds of things where the real king is hidden away and the evil queen is on the throne, and when he's old enough he becomes king and she's executed. It's pretty fascinating stuff. Chapter 12, the reign of King Joash over Judah. And then there's a whole bit about repairing the temple, gathering money to repair the temple, rebuilding the work, because they had stopped taking care of the temple. They had stopped taking care of God's house and putting money into it, providing what was needed to take care of it. So that's pretty interesting. King Joash pays King Hazael of Syria tribute money to avoid attack. And then Joash gets assassinated. Goodness gracious. And then chapter 13, Elisha dies at that point. Then you have Elisha's, he's dead, but then somebody else comes back. It's crazy. Anyway, we'll stop in chapter 13. Great stuff coming on in the next video. Thank you.